This is the Tom Bigby Tales, and I'm your host, Shannon Evans. I write about a small town in northeast Mississippi called Columbus, and sometimes I write about the rest of the state. This episode is about two women who were, one was a student of what is now MUW, and one was a professor, Rosa Jeffrey Peebles and Edith Fahnestock. Edith Fahnestock was born in 1873 in Pennsylvania. She attended the Western Reserve Women's College in Cleveland, Ohio, where she studied French and Spanish. This was followed by 2 years abroad at the University of Zurich and the Sorbonne in France. She then was a fellow at Bryn Mawr, earning a PhD in Romance philology. She then came to Columbus, Mississippi to join the faculty at the Industrial Institute and College, what was referred to as II&C. II&C was founded in 1885 as the first state-supported college for women. It is now what we call Mississippi University for Women. Edith was hired by the college to head the Department of Modern Languages and to teach French, Italian, and Spanish, starting in 1898. She arrived 25 years old and just embarking on a long and illustrious career in women's higher education. She would hold this position until 1906, when she would leave for Mount Holyoke and then on to Vassar in 1908. Rosa Jeffries Peebles, originally from Adams County, Mississippi, was born in 1871. She attended II&C, graduating in 1891. She would eventually teach at the college and become close with Edith while they were both teaching there. In 1904, Rosa wrote an extensive early history on II&C that is still used to give insights into the early philosophies of the college and its faculty on the teaching of the young women they were in charge of. Both Rosa and Edith were influenced by the ideologies of Pauline Orr, as well as her stance on women's rights. Like Orr, they were suffragettes, an unpopular movement among male leadership at the college. This would eventually cost Orr her job. Armed with their PhDs from the prestigious Bryn Mawr, Rosa and Edith departed the South and headed eventually together to Vassar. Edith was hired in 1908 and Rosa in 1909 per Vassar faculty rosters. Rosa would be the head of the English department, and Edith would teach French, Spanish, and Italian while heading the Foreign Languages Department. Rosa would retire in 1938 and Edith in 1939. Rosa's doctoral thesis on the romance of Longinus from Arthurian legend is still considered to be the canon on that subject. She also published other scholarly articles and was responsible for the development and launch of Vassar's Journal of Undergraduate Studies. Rosa and Edith traveled extensively in Europe. Many summers between 1924 and 1934 were spent in England, France, and Spain. Edith and Rosa remained friends with Pauline Orr and her partner, Miriam Green Pasley. I think I'm saying that right. Taking part in their salons they held in their New York City home until Pasley's, or is it Paisley, death in 1932, and they continued to visit Orr after her beloved Miriam's passing. Rosa died in her home with Edith, in Poughkeepsie, New York, on May 24th, 1952. The two remained partnered until their death. She was buried in Birmingham, Alabama, at the insistence of her sister. Edith would die shortly after in 1956 in Vermont, where she is buried. I want to thank you for coming on my tour of Columbus, Mississippi, Lowndes County, and the Tombigbee Tales. Until next time.